Hello, everybody. John X here. Apologize for the delay. Wanted to hear the garbage that was coming out of our leader's mouth, or lack thereof, leader. Happy New Year. Let's hope for a happy, successful, enjoyable 2024. Although it's not starting off as smooth as I'm sure most of us like to have, but sometimes when you first walk, you trip and fall a little bit, and maybe that's the case this week in the city. First and foremost, we'll start with the positive, then with the negative. Positively, congratulations to Mainland for the state championship. Also, kudos to Jim Allen and all at the Hard Rock. They put on an awesome show of gratitude and thank the kids, the men and women. That's everybody. The band, the cheerleaders, the players, the coaches, the families. Hooked them up with a nice event at the Hard Rock over the weekend. Jim Allen, always a class act, alumnus of Mainland, so I'm sure you heard it 1,000 times. Make it 1,001. Thank you for that. Congrats to the Arts Garage receiving a $1 million grant. I know Mike Cagno will put that to work to the max. He does a very, very good job over there, and also for the Ducktown neighborhood as well. And also today was the day Councilwoman Latoya was going to court. The decision is now going to be pushed back a few days, but from what I heard, she's going to be okay, and that's awesome to have that stability in city council. And now let's get to the weekend, which was an absolute nightmare, headache, and tobacco. First and foremost, it was said on radio, we are at 4 deaths in Atlantic City already, 2 on the first day, had 1 on Friday, and had 1 yesterday. The most disturbing one is the one that happened on Friday with the 2 teenage children near Boston Avenue. I felt the cop cars coming past here to go to that call. That's how severe it was. Last time I felt that, it also wasn't a good incident. So I just knew then something big went down the way the cop cars were trying to attend to the matter on Boston Avenue. Few things with that. A few parents reached out asking why didn't the school notify the parents about the situation, so the parents could counsel their kids over the weekend and not so much give names, but a heads up instead of being surprised returning back to school today. Many of these questions came around 4:30, so obviously that's when school ends, and I guess the questions were happening. So a lot of upset parents that were not kept in the loop about that particular incident. Again, the 3 in general, definitely not a good way to start the year, but I definitely think the superintendent dropped the ball with this one, not notifying the parents. And even then, so I think we're in a point of life today to where when you go to register your child for school, I think everyone has an email, because there are very, very, very few people that do not use the internet. I think pretty much that generation is no longer with us or have been forced to use email, but that should be a requirement when signing your children up for school. And also, if you are a tenant or landowner in the city, an email should be required. Every once in a while, you send a test out and you check to see which ones come back. and obviously got to do a little digging and see why it is. No reason, as much as we don't like getting information that fast or whatever, certain events call for it. So, food for thought for the administration that's in place today. Maybe that's something you two can discuss at dinner, how you two can communicate better to not only the children of Atlantic City, but the parents as well. So, just saying, one house, one meeting, kind of figure it out. Shouldn't be that hard if you two are as educated and as smart as you say you are. Now, with that, with the shootings and stabs and everything like that, I know we don't have enough cops on the street. 20 plus years ago, there were over 400 on payroll. Now there's less than 2. Okay, granted, they just hired 30. So let's just knock it 250. Still a 150 person swing, which would probably be about 15 people per shift with vacations, injuries, education, the whole nine. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind this should not be a 400 manned department. And if it's something that our chief can't do because of political barriers, which is not his fault, then I'm thinking we need to reach out and have other people help patrol and do some of the lighter end of police work and let our people do the other stuff. That's including the sheriff's department, prosecutor's office, and then same token, again, with these incidents, when you catch the criminals, they are released just as fast. So that's a thing to where our police department, I'm talking every police department, every sheriff's department, every prosecutor's office, they all should be pushing back on the attorney general on this catch and release system, because it's not working. The criminal is out faster than how long it takes to process the person, and they know that, and that's why I think AC is a hub, because the public knows we're short man staff because it is a conversation, and they also know that the rules work for the criminal and work against the regular individual. So it's not only a city problem, it's a county state issue, and I think our attorney general for the state needs to fix that. It's not fair, to anybody, especially us, because we seem to be the hub where everybody gets dropped off. And then today, and with our friend Mr. Chronic, he had the mayor on. That's why we were late. I had to change my boots to sneakers because of the BS that was coming out of his mouth. Always playing victim, using his favorite words, opportunists. Meanwhile, he is the definition of an opportunist, not just political, on everything. On everything. So, conversations brought up about the properties that have overgrown vegetation. The last time this was brought up, ex-Mayor Gilliam went out with a lawnmower and just had Public Works clear the brush right away. And I think invoiced the property owner. I'm not sure. But I know he went in there right away and he found a few people living in there. So now we have a few problem spots behind the Nugget, between Borgata and the connector from Brigantine to go to Atlantic City over there on the right where the city yard used to be. Just go in and mow everything down that you can. Send people in with canines that can sniff out people so they don't get hurt, get them out, and go get a brush hog and just have someone sit there and just get nuts. and clear it out. It will look a lot better than what it does. People will not hide in those bushes and trees and overgrown marsh, whatever, and everything's going to be okay. And also, the other problem is Atlantic City Expressway. Before you come over the intercoastal, right down on the right, or if you were at the old dual fuel site across the waterway there, that it would be an expressway project. So that would be a conversation for those on the transit to get that mowed down or checked or whatever. But it's just simple deployment of people. But instead, we want to hire and start these new departments. Anti-violence that doesn't do shit. Well, send them in to go look for people. The other one we have is Second Chance Program. Well, if you have a record, you can't deal cards, you can't serve alcohol, you can't touch alcohol. It'll be challenging to work for the city. Well, what other jobs are there in Atlantic City? For the most part, 85% of the jobs here require dealing in gaming or touching alcoholic beverages. So why have that department? That would be a teamwork effort with the county, not the city. This town itself, no jobs for people to have records. Zero. Think about it. That's just me. That. And then we get to the water situation. A lot of mixed reviews. A lot. But at the end of the day, the issue was found before lunch. It reached an out-of-control moment on the later part of the afternoon, but the problem was human error. It happens. I think it tried to be corrected before anyone could notice, and it just went to the level it went to. The problem is communication, which will get to the goals of Atlantic City, but this word right here that I think Marty forgot about that he used numerous times in his speeches. Communication. We have food factories in Atlantic City. We have hotel, casino, motels. We have restaurants. We have our own water source, which is a challenge in itself and a blessing at the same time. The blessing is we have the best water, I would say, in the country. People envy our water for many, many reasons. I mean, if you travel just in America, you can taste how great and awesome Atlantic City's water is, hands down. But I think both sides, the MUA and mayoral administration, messed up. Number one, with the mayor, someone please get rid of his personal Facebook page on his phone. There's a lot of employed, unimportant, useless people that work with him. One is, please get him a different phone number with his phone to do his posts and congratulations shit that he does. And or color coordinate his phones. Red for important and brown for crap. Okay? Using his personal page, I and many, many others, and a few last night are newly blocked from his social media. That is highly unethical, and that deserves a class action lawsuit in itself. That he continuously uses his cell phone as his and with this, with he thinks he's reaching more people and he's not. No one cares about your promotion business. No one cares you had the best man cave, which you took time out yesterday to show everybody. You got an award. I would like to see receipts of purchases of the chairs, the TV screens, and everything else. I would love to see proof that they weren't gifts, to be honest with you. That being said, using your own personal social media to talk to the residents and businesses of Atlantic City, not everyone is your friend. Believe it or not, yes, you may have a fan base. Great. You also have, as you stated, a group that don't like you. Guilty as charged. But you owe us to talk and communicate using a city-owned phone with the city social media and whatever other stuff you guys do with this stuff to post there first, not your own. I am Marty Small. Yes, we know who you are. And obviously you don't know who you are if that's your page. Take out the I am. We know who you are, Marty. It's almost like saying, do you know who I am? Yes, we know who you are. If you don't know who you are, you got to talk to somebody. It's a disservice. It's dishonest. It's a lot of DIS. Or whatever word you put on the end of it. Okay? Please don't come in like the white knight that said, I brought you 500 cases of water. What is 500 cases? That's not, that mathematically, 30,000 people. So you got 500 times 24 times 12. That's 145,000 ounces of water. 145,000 divided by 32,000 residents. Everyone got 4 ounces of water. Everybody got 4 ounces. Marty, thank you. Thank you, Marty, for the 4 ounces of water per person. And that's just the residents. That's not included to the, what was the math? 8 casinos, 2,500 per, 20,000 rooms in Atlantic City on a Friday night. Mind you, this all happened on a Friday night to where people had to scurry and figure out how to get all this stuff to work in favor. Fortunately, we'll lower that number because the Bally's and resorts, they're lucky to have their own artesian wells, so they were lucky. So let's just say 15,000 rooms. What's 500 cases of water? Help me help you. What do you think 4 ounces per person of water is going to do? People use that to brush their teeth and maybe more. And then on top of that, you had the residents of Stanley Homes. They have no heat. They have no gas. Now no water. And if you did get them water, they still had no heat to boil the water. And you just said on Scott Chronic, be patient. Where's the patience at? They are living, they might as well just move in the woods with the people that are staying in the marshes in those 3 properties I just mentioned. Because you just given them a roof. That's it. For the Stanley Home residents. They had no water, they had no water now, no heat. And if they got water, they couldn't heat it up because they don't have gas. You said be patient. You're on it. Your administration is diligently working on it. Let's just be clear. You're a 20-year political figure in this town. Over 75% of your career, you've been council president and or mayor. Please do not downgrade your existence. As much as we don't despise your existence, do not downplay your involvement and your tenure here, because you are part of the problem. Ignore. Stanley Holmes is not even in your jurisdiction. Now that it is as the mayor, oh, it's new to me. I guarantee you, if this was in the second ward, you would have known about it, but you didn't care. You're selfish, you're narcissistic. Absolutely incredible. But everyone, thank the mayor for your 4 ounces of water. Can we say, great day? Yeah, I didn't think so. And then the boot, with your press conferences, you're calling on the audience that you had no audience to call on. That was even more amazing that you would even do that. It was just your staff. No one else was there. There was no city people there. Everyone was too busy running around South Jersey trying to get soda, water, coffee, whatever the hell it was, to stay parched and whatever they had to do to survive. Ice, whatever. Can we say great day, which you used, which was atrocious, and then you go and display your man cave trophy of success on whatever, I don't know. Mind-boggling. So anyway, that's all we got this week. Marty's not off to a great 2021. And then we have February 2nd, I guess, for the State of the City address. We'll love to see what costume he comes out in. I heard Barbie is the theme. I don't know. Just rumor that he's going to come out as Barbie. And that. And then we get to the board. These are the goals of Atlantic City. Truth be told. Transparency. That failed this week. Better communication. It proves that you guys can't communicate at all. More ACPD deployment. Stop with the Second Chance Department and dissolve the anti-violence group. Both do nothing. You're taking away manpower and important financial stability from the police department. Get rid of the 2. Give them the money. Fire anti-violence, dissolve this. So 3, 4, and 5 go hand in hand. 6. Anyone seen Ernest Corsi? I mean, Cash went missing for a minute. Now we haven't seen Ernest. He's supposed to be the council person for Marty to keep his head right, and obviously he hasn't been around. So if anyone can, let's find Ernest Corsi, make sure he's okay. And let's get a better business administrator that will put up a fight for the residents instead of the wet noodle we have, Anthony Swan. I bet some of you will wish Arch Liston was here now. I think I do. Even Stevie Wonder can see what's going on here. All right, people. Thank you. Appreciate it. And we'll talk later.